Yo, with nearly 20 years as a healthcare provider, I've seen in the streets of New York, in the Dominican Republic, and in other states within the country, on a first-hand basis, in the most acute settings, the addiction that plagues society, not just in New York State, but worldwide. I've seen people high off methadone, high off opiates like heroin and methadone, sometimes on both. I've seen people use crack, K2, marijuana, alcoholisms, and I've seen the detrimental effects of every single one of those substances. Also, on top of that, I've seen the detrimental effects of people judging them. I've seen how this ruins families. I've seen how people who look at them, for example, me working as a paramedic, sometimes I would have an EMT or a paramedic partner look down on the alcoholic that we're picking up on the street because this person is having urinary and fecal incontinence. They piss and shit on themselves and they don't care about anything. They don't care about their physical presence. They don't care about where they're living. They just are living to live the feeling of the next high, whether that high comes from alcohol, whether that high comes from an illicit drug or a legal drug. But I say that to say this, my people. Have you ever stood online for a substance that you wanted? Have you ever seen Starbucks at 6 in the morning on a drive-thru? The shit goes down the block. Have you ever consumed something against your willpower? Well, check it out. You may not be an alcoholic, but you have a drinking problem. And you might listen to me and say, no, I don't. But guess what? You do. And you know why? Because of the simple fact that you know it causes so many lives. You know of the damage that it causes to so many people. You know that it affects in a negative way every part of your body. You know that DUI and car accidents and little kids have died because of the consumption of alcohol. Yet you consume it anyway. So I dare to say you have an addiction problem as well. Majority of society does. It's the dopamine in your brain. It's catered to look for things that make you feel good. The only difference between you and them, the people that live on the street and live in shelters and can't really provide for society, is that you're functional and they're not. The difference between you and them is that your drug of choice is not necessarily illegal. Your drug of choice might be sugar. Your drug of choice might be soda. It might be nicotine. It might be smoking whatever it is and eating whatever you want. Fatty foods is also an addiction. Oreos might be an addiction for you as well. Pornography, gambling, and etc. So what do you have in common with these people? What do you have in common with the majority of society who have a substance abuse problem? It's depression. Depression makes you seek pleasure. You are feeling so negative to feel the way you're feeling that you're looking for something to help you feel something better, at least for a little while. This used to happen to me. I used to be so depressed about going through an inevitable resort to an inevitable divorce, working overnights and being overweight, that I would run towards the same substances that ended up fucking me over. I would run towards energy drinks that high off the caffeine. I would run for vaping that high off the nicotine, and then follow it up with a chocolate chip cookie. Follow it up with a pizza from 7-Eleven. So, don't judge nobody. Don't put yourself in a pedestal. I hate when EMTs, paramedics, and just regular people on the street look down on people with addiction problems. They're the same as you. The only difference is their source of pleasure comes from something that is a lot more detrimental. But is it a lot more detrimental? Diabetes and high blood pressure are silent killers. And you're suffering from low-levelness or affluenza. Low-levelness comes from just living a low-level existence, not living the best version of yourself. Affluenza is you have so much money and you have so much success in one area of life that you let it fuck you over in all other areas of life, because all you do is lean on that strength. So the remedy to causing this addiction problem, as per me, Dr. Reynolds Kairus, a New York City paramedic, and a person who has over 20 years experience, or nearly 20 years experience, treating addiction in the most acute settings, is these people, including maybe yourself, need to replace their sources of pleasure. Replace your source of pleasure from something that causes regress for something that causes success. So my addiction for pornography, for negativity, for fatty foods and sugary snacks was replaced for fitness, martial arts, working out, eating healthy, and the addiction of helping people. I hope this helps. Peace.